Hello, y'all. Welcome back to another Degrassi Season 14 review. We're going to be reviewing episodes 11 and 12 called Firestarter Part 1 and Part 2. To be honest, the only thing in these episodes that's really important are really the Hollingsworth storyline and the whole Degrassi News thing. And I'm going to go through them very rapid-firely. So, in a Part 1 episode, I take a sip of my juice. In a Part 1 episode, Frankie finds out that it was really Winston that was the blackmailer. And she saw that Zoe made a fake account basically saying, oh, she was behind the Degrassi News and and forced all the girls to do it. Frankie chin-checked Zoe and said, how could she even make a fake account and say it was her behind the Degrassi News? As a matter of fact, how can she even do what she did to all the girls after what she went through last year? Zoe gonna tell Frankie is that the reason why the people can't know that it's her is because if they find out it's her, then she's looked at as a hypocrite, a phony, and that all the stuff that happened to her last semester is going to get played out even more because she forced girls to sell news. She said if Frankie is behind it, she's going to get away with it. Her dad can make it go away. He can bail her out. He can make the story look like however it seems because her family is dysfunctional or whatever. At the end of the day, it still ain't right. Zoe, you know you was the one behind the Degrassi News. Even though Frankie and the entire cheer team wanted Zoe to take the blame for Degrassi News by saying, oh, she did it all by herself, I thought that was a shitty plan because that don't even make sense. There's no way in hell. I don't feel like Zoe should feel like the entire thing, like she was just behind it all by herself. No, that don't make sense. I feel like if Zoe was going to turn herself in or whatever it was, I think it needed to be specifically that she came up with the whole Degrassi News idea. And that she forced the girls to sell naked pictures of themselves to make money. That is what she would say if she was to confess. Not, oh, I started Degrassi News and I was doing it all by myself, all the other girls are innocent. No. I don't think she should be the one who only gets punished for it. But at the same time, like I said, it's a really complicated and messy situation because I look at the rest of the girls as victims because they were forced to do stuff that Zoe wanted to do, not because they wanted to do it. So it's just a complicated situation. And when I'm trying to think what else happened in the Part 1 episode. Because I think it was just the Degrassi News storyline. I don't think it was anything else. Still the whole baby shit. Again, I do not care about the pregnancy storyline at all. Like, I give zero fucks. Like, if y'all could see my face, I really don't give a fuck, like, at all. And I fucking mean it. You know, when it first came out about the Degrassi News, when Frankie and all of them was at the house, you know, Miles was like, oh, yeah, that's what the cheerleaders were doing to make money. And the dad was like, Frankie, did you know about this? She said she could cheerleader team, and she said that she didn't know anything about it, and she thinks it's just a rumor. When the dad left, Miles was like, he knows Frankie's lying face and knows that she chatted. Frankie said she only did it once, and after that, she left. So she told Miles what she's supposed to do. Sorry, y'all. She told Miles what she's supposed to do. Miles told her to find an scapegoat, or if she don't, then their dad is going to hate her forever. So that is why she was trying to pin the whole Degrassi News thing on Zoe because of what Miles told her to do. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's right for Zoe to take all the blame because she didn't do Degrassi News all by herself. She started it. She was the mastermind behind it. But I feel like Zoe should go down for forcing those girls to do that shit. Period. And I'm so tired of the show using that she's a sexually assault victim, so therefore she's not going to be looked at as horrible. No. for anything, I keep saying Frankie. My whole mind is like discombobulated. Ugh. For Zoe to even force girls to sell nudes, even after she was a sexual assault victim, if anything, it makes her look like, damn girl, what the fuck is really wrong with you? After you knowing firsthand, personally, what it's like to have naked photos of you just all over the internet and just airdrop for everybody in the school, for you to do that for other girls, for you to force other girls to do that shit, girl, you are scum on earth, period. You are disgusting. I don't know why anyone, I don't know, I just feel like this season should have gave Zoe a fucking redemption arc. Instead, you have her bitch and moan about not having any friends, and then all the friends she did gain, she forced some bitches to sell nudes? That don't make sense. And then wonder why she didn't have any friends. Because it's like, bitch, look what happens when you get friends. You use them. You're a user. The fuck? That's why I feel like her character should have got a redemption arc. That's why I said they should have did a different thing. Instead of, like, forcing girls to oof chat, they should have did something where her and Becky was, like, you know, trying to gain power by being on the cheer team. That just, to me, that just made more sense as a storyline. For real, for real. She's forcing these girls to oof chat, and then you expect the audience to take her side? Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to think what the fuck else happened in this episode. Oh, when it finally came out about the oof chatting, Frankie told her dad that she did it once, and then this motherfucker wanted her to take the blame for all of it. I cannot stand Miles and Frankie's dad. Like, the Hollingsworth dad, I cannot stand that nigga. Like, I cannot stand him. Like, I understand why Miles hated that nigga, because I hated him by watching him. Like, their dad, if y'all ever watch One Tree Hill, he gives, like, Dan vibes, but not, like, major. So what I would say is that their dad is scum, but he gives Dan vibes when it comes to controlling and just being so disgusting. But I hate Miles' father, but I don't hate him as much as like I hated Dan. Like, when I first watched One Tree Hill, I couldn't stand Dan, but when I watch One Tree Hill now, I kind of look at Dan's character a little differently. Yes, he did bad shit, 100%. But I feel like some of the shit that he did, but I feel like besides killing Keith, I'm like completely getting sidetracked, but I feel like other than him killing Keith and, you know, abandoning Karen while she was pregnant and doing all the shit he did to Nathan, I don't think he should necessarily get judged for it, because I think people kind of overlook that, you know, Dan was fucked up himself, because Dan was just doing to Nathan what his father did to him. He didn't break the cycle. He didn't see, like, anything different. Dan didn't know how to give affection, love, or thank yous, because that's not what he got growing up. So my thing is, because I try to explain this shit to people, how do you expect your parent to love you unconditionally when they didn't get it growing up? Of course, they're going to fuck you up psychologically, because that's what they had growing up. They got pushed or forced to do things, or instead of being treated like a child, they were treated like an employee, a go-getter for the family. So, of course, that is why Dan pushed Nathan to be the greatest basketball player on the team, because even though he was trying to live vicariously through Nathan, but he pushed Nathan because he wanted him to be good and didn't want him to end up like him, failing and, you know, not being able to make it to the NBA and not willing to live out his dream of being a good basketball player. But I feel like some people kind of overlook that shit with Dan. That Dan was fucked up from his childhood, right? You can't expect him to love his children unconditionally when he didn't get that growing up. You feel me? So of course, if you want to judge his parenting, by all means do, because I do. But I kind of look at it differently, where it's like, yeah, some parents be fucked up because of their childhoods. Like, they don't know how to raise their children because they didn't have that growing up, which just means they shouldn't be parents to begin with. They shouldn't have gotten any girl pregnant if they didn't know how to be a correct parent. Not saying being a parent is easy, But there are right and wrong things when it comes to being a parent, and I feel like nowadays parents feel like, oh, how dare you bitch and moan when I put shoes on your feet and food in your stomach, and that, oh, the first thing a kid loves to do once they get older is shit on how bad their parents was to them, and da-da-da-dee, and da-da-da-der. It's whatever, honestly. But like I was saying, I hate Miles' dad, but I don't hate him as much as I hate Dan. He do give me Dan vibes, but just not as major as Dan from One Tree Hill, but he give me Dan vibes because he's scum. He's scum. He's 100% scum. I think that's it that happened in part one for real, for real. I can't think of anything else that really happened outside of that. So in part two, basically, the cheerleaders team checked Zoe and told her why the fuck was she pinning the whole Degrassi News thing on Frankie, and Zoe said she had to so they could make it to regionals, and she told them if she confessed that it was them, they wouldn't be here, and that they want the police knocking at their door to take them to jail, and they said no. She said, okay then. So that's why she put it on Frankie and said that her family's rich, her dad is going to make it go away. Unlike them, they don't have the luxury like that. So, whatever. And then in the morning when Miles and them was all at home, Miles and Hunter, Dad walked in pissed talking about, oh, Frankie's going to ruin his campaign. She's going to ruin his chances of becoming mayor. You know, Miles read him down and said, you'd rather be a good mayor and a good father. And the dad is like, you kids are ungrateful. I give you kids everything. And Miles said, except for your love and your common decency. And the dad threw his motherfucking mug at the wall trying to hit Miles, and he almost hit Hunter, by the way. Then he told Hunter, was he okay, and told Miles and Hunter that he didn't mean to do that. And Miles said, as if you care who you hurt. The dad got his finger in Miles' face. Miles told about, get your finger out of my face. The dad smacked him. So much shit going on. He told Miles, I didn't mean to do that, right? As abusers do. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It would never happen again. He get a call and say, I got to take this from the office. And, you know, Miles walked up to Hunter and said, that can never happen again. Miles is talking to his mom, and she's talking about, oh, I can't believe he would actually intentionally hit you. Y'all been at each other's throats for weeks now. And talking about, oh, you always on him about doing this or being that. And Hunter talking about you always on his ass about being a bad dad. And Miles was like, because he is, open your eyes. It's like, how the fuck can you be so confused? I don't know if Frankie and Hunter refused to see, but their dad was scum. He treated Miles like shit. He treated all of them like shit, honestly. He only rewarded them if they acted accordingly. But once they messed up or did something that showed they're not as perfect, he abused them. Like, you're not worthy to me if you cannot do what I need you to do. Now you serve nothing to me because you cannot be perfect. Period. That's what Miles was trying to explain to them. And he told his mom, like, listen, if you ain't gonna listen, I'll handle this situation by myself since you ain't gonna do shit. I wanted to punch Miles' mama in the mouth. Like, seriously, like, when he was talking to this bitch, I was blowing up my fist. I said, I want to punch this bitch on her lip and swell up her lip so bad. Because it's like, bitch, if your child comes to you and tell you that your husband hit him or anything, bitch, off top, you should be confronting your husband. Why is you breathing down your kid neck talking about, oh no, your father would never do that. That don't make sense. Why would he just hit you out of the blue? Bitch, it don't matter. Why, bitch, why are you asking why? Where's the doing? Your ass should have been marching in his motherfucking study and asking him, hey, did you put your hands on my kid? The fuck? If anything, I mean, that nigga go be in that bitch tussling. What you talk about? Like, why is you just talking to this nigga? I'm confused. Like, I wanted to punch the mom in her motherfucking mouth. No kidding. Like, I wanted to break that bitch neck. Like, seriously. I wanted to fuck her up massively. Because I was pissed. Because it's like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you still sitting here talking to Miles about this shit? Girl, you should be getting up and marching your ass in the motherfucking study where your husband at and talking to him about why the fuck did he feel like it was appropriate to hit your child. Huh? Whatever. Then, you know, Miles went to go confront his dad, which is by far one of my favorite scenes from Eric, who plays Miles. You know, he told his dad that he need him to move out, that his I stories and things like that, they mean nothing. The dad talked about, oh, he can change. Miles said none of it means nothing because it don't mean anything. You've been staying there for months and then nothing has changed. Like you said, you treat us like your props, and when we don't act right, you hurt us. And the dad talks about, do you want me to say I'll try harder? And then, the dad is trying to manipulate Miles and gaslight him into thinking that the reason why the twins is so fucked up and why their household is so fucked up is because of Miles' rebellious behavior and all that and all the trouble he got into last year and this year. And as the fact dad is talking, Miles raises his fist up to like he's gonna punch the dad in the face. The dad said if it's that easy, then do it. If you're really serious about it, then do it. Miles didn't do it, and he got like tears coming out of his eyes, and the dad walked away and said, just as I thought. That was such a great act of scene to me, because I feel like nothing in this world, it shouldn't be easy, if you ask me. If you really love someone, it shouldn't be easy at all for you to be able to strike them like that, like to abuse them. It shouldn't be okay, period. So I feel like with Miles is that they are showing that he loves his dad, but at the same time he hates him. Like, he loves him enough to know that he will never put his hands on his father. But at the same time, he hates him to where he don't want him living in the house. Like, I really need you out of this bitch. Like, I need you gone. I need you out, period. Like, at this point, Miles needs to learn how to love his dad from a distance, period. Frankie and Winston try to, get Zoe to confess to the Degrassi nudes. They get trapped in where the fuck they was in. I'm going to say a storage closet, because Miles sets a fire when he sees his dad campaign posters everywhere. He sets a fire. So, not saying I'm surprised. Miles has always been known to doing reckless shit. One of the things that just makes me mad is that why do Maya continue to drag herself in Miles' shit? Like, why couldn't she just continue to walk? Why does she have to stop to get in the middle of his shit? Like, why can't she just ever just mind her business when it comes to Miles? Like, wherever she's seen Miles, it's like she just felt like, I just feel like she's sirebond, like, just to be underneath his control and help him whatever situation. It's not your business. It's not your situation to help him with anything he got going on. That's his family stuff. Like, that's his private stuff. Like, why do you feel like you gotta help him with everything? It's just stupid. Like, whatever. Frankie, told Zoe that she's a bully, even though she trying to act like she's not. You're a bully, and that those girls, if they could, they would have stood up to you. But the reason why they didn't is because they're afraid that if they're not on the power cheer team, that they're going to go to jail. That's the only why they stuck along with you this entire time, is because they're afraid of going to jail. And after all this, they probably won't even be talking to your ass again, for real, for real. So think of that. And, the dad show up to the school, Miles' dad, telling Frankie, oh, let's get back to business. Let's get back to, the whole campaign. Frankie was like, damn, what about, I'm glad that you're alive and you're not dead. And he said, obviously. And Miles is like, all he cared about is himself. And the dad told about, I'm just about to have enough of that ridiculous talk. Hunter said it's true. He hit Miles. And the dad was like, it was the heat of a moment. And, the kids said they ain't driving with him. They're going to wait till their mama pick them up. And he said, this is ridiculous. And he said, whatever. So, Maya walked up. And she told Miles that, she just feels happy that she doesn't have to worry about him anymore. And Miles said that he's just glad that, that she didn't give up on him, but feel free to check in with him every now and then, and she said she will. I feel like the show was trying to ship Maya and Miles again. Like, I feel like they were trying to, rekindle some type of something between them. And I feel like I wouldn't have been upset with that, if that's what they were trying to do. But instead, the show, well, I'm going to say, this season specifically, wants you to actually think that Maya and Zig wanted to be with each other the whole time in this season. I'm here to tell y'all, no, it's nowhere near true. I feel like Maya, in the hints of, making sure Miles was okay, I do feel like she still has feelings for him. Even though the show did come out and say it, we know Miles still have feelings for her, because literally the last episode, they admitted that he had feelings for her. I don't know why they didn't make him tell her, and why we had to. I don't know why they didn't make Miles tell Maya that he had feelings for her, and that we don't even get to know what really happens with that storyline until they do some fuck ass premiere or special episodes where they went in the season, which is really, really dumb. They call Champagne Supernova. In case y'all don't know what they are, go and watch them. They so stupid. Like, nothing about them make any sense. Like, them special episodes for like an alternate universe, because those episodes are, when you watch them, episodes is after the whole fire incident at school, because I think they went on break or some shit like that. Because when Zoe and Zig was on the phone, she told Zig that if he didn't want to be with her because she was selling Degrassi news, she didn't have to. So obviously that was picking up after the whole fire thing. And Miles threw a party because his dad won mayor and he was upset. And when he called Maya, Zig was the one who came up to check on him. Them niggas got drunk and made a video about how the Degrassi girls are trash and classless because they would sell their news for niggas but won't give niggas like them a chance. None of that makes any sense to me. Like, if you wanted Miles and Zig to be best friends, just say that. The fuck? I actually think that would have been a cool friendship to me, but that's just my opinion. Like, you know. And then you don't get to hear that Miles confessed his feelings to Maya until you watch that. So stupid. So dumb. Like, they definitely was trying to hit Maya and Miles again, like, in a relationship. I think so. And they're trying to make it feel like, oh, it's only been Maya for Zig. Let me tell y'all, Zig is, like, thirsty as fuck. Like, literally this entire season, he want to get with any bitch. Any bitch who gave Zig the freaky eye or whatever, he was on the ass like grass. With Zoe, with the one bitch on the cheerleading team. The show really gonna make you feel like, this season specifically, wants to make you feel like, oh, Maya and Zig always no, because they both had their own thing going on. I definitely feel like Maya had feelings for Miles, and Zig was trying to get with Zoe. So come on, I'm mixing with all of that. But whatever. Like I said, these are episodes 11 and 12, Firestarter Part 1 and Part 2. Catch you guys in my next episode.